Imagine this. Your body holds a key that wasn't crafted by human hands or passed down by religious teachers, a key built into your biological design from the very beginning of your existence, a key that, when activated, wakes up something we've forgotten, life force. The ancients called it prana, ki, ruach, divine breath. Today, science calls it bioelectric energy. But the name doesn't matter. What matters is that this energy has fallen asleep in most people. The reason is simple. We've become disconnected from gravity, from nature, from the kind of movement our bodies were actually designed for. We are vertical beings made to climb, hang, stretch, suspend, and expand. Yet we spend most of our lives sitting, slouching, tightening, compressing. We've forgotten how to free the spine, and because of that, we've forgotten how to free the energy that rises through it. But here's the surprising part. The ancients understood this. Civilizations that never even knew of each other somehow shared the same simple practice. Hanging for 1 minute a day. Just one. It sounds almost too basic, yet within that simplicity, a secret was carried, forgotten, or maybe even intentionally lost. When the body is suspended, the spine decompresses, and the central energetic axis, the channel that holds your sense of self, your clarity, and your inner strength, finally gets room to open. We're not just talking about stretching muscles. We're talking about awakening the pillar through which life force rises. The Taoists called it the Du-Mai channel. Yogis named it Sushumna. Ancient Mesoamerican healers described it as the vertebral serpent. Different names, same idea. Life climbs through the spine, and when the spine is blocked, life slows down. Hanging is a direct, natural, powerful way to give space back to your body, to your flow, to your inner breath, and to your consciousness. In this video, we'll break down why hanging for 1 minute a day can reset your energy, the ancestral origins of this practice, the modern science that confirms what ancient cultures already knew, what happens inside your nervous system and spine, how your subtle field responds, and the correct way to do it so you can awaken dormant life force. If you're here, it's not by chance. Maybe your body has been waiting for this reminder. Maybe your soul already knew you needed space to breathe again. Get ready. This isn't just an exercise. This is a return to your original design. To understand why something as simple as hanging for 1 minute can awaken life force, we have to go back. Way back, not decades or centuries, but thousands of years, to a time when humans remembered their intimate relationship with nature. Look at animals in the wild. Monkeys, big cats, even birds resting while hanging on branches. Suspension isn't unusual in the animal world, it's instinct. Gravity becomes a teacher, not an enemy. Today, we treat gravity like a burden. We feel it as heaviness, fatigue, pressure, and forget that it can actually help us release. In ancient Taoist traditions, the spine was seen as the bridge between heaven and earth. The body was a living tree, the pelvis the root, the skull the crown, the spine the trunk where the sap rises. If the spine stiffened, energy stopped moving. That's why they practiced techniques like the dragon suspension, hanging their body weight so life force could rise freely. Meanwhile, in India, yogis describe that rising energy as kundalini, a coiled serpent at the base of the spine that awakens only when the central channel is open. It was considered sacred and powerful, so it wasn't shared publicly. Training wasn't just meditation, it was preparing the body as a vessel. One method was simple, natural hanging from branches, beams, or ropes to create internal space. But the story doesn't stop there. In Mesoamerica, Toltec healers used suspension for energetic realignment. They believed the soul could reorganize itself when the body wasn't supporting its own weight. Their teaching was simple. For the spirit to rise, the spine must remember how to flow. What's incredible is this: none of these cultures communicated with each other, yet they all discovered the same truth. The spine is a spiritual antenna, and for energy to flow, that antenna must be free, open, and responsive. That's not coincidence. That's ancestral memory surfacing across continents. Modern life moves in the opposite direction. We sit, we hunch, we carry emotional weight in our shoulders. The spine compresses, the diaphragm tightens, breath becomes shallow, and life force gets trapped. Modern medicine separates muscles, nerves, and bones into categories. Ancient systems saw them as a single orchestra. Body, mind, and energy playing together. Hanging wasn't just exercise, it was ritual, medicine, a way to remind the body what inner space feels like, openness. And today, while everyone is searching for complicated ways to raise their vibration, ancient wisdom whispers something else. The deepest truths are often the simplest. To understand why hanging awakens life force, we first need to understand what life force actually is. It's not just a spiritual metaphor. It's a biological, energetic, and perceptual reality. In Eastern traditions, it's called ki, prana, sekam. It's ruach. Different names for the same essence. It's the current that keeps you alive even when you're not thinking about it. The force behind your breath, your heartbeat, your metabolism, and your awareness. But this energy doesn't move by itself. It needs a channel, a pathway, a structure for it to flow through. That pathway is the spine. The spine is more than bone and cartilage. It's a highway for subtle and electrical information. Running through it is the spinal cord, the core cable of the nervous system, the bridge between sensation and action, between emotion and the body. When that structure becomes compressed by posture, emotional tension, stress, or trauma, the flow slows down, not just the physical flow of blood and nerve impulses, but also the circulation of the inner energetic breath. That breath is what some traditions describe as the sleeping serpent, the inner flame, the fire of life. And when that flow is blocked, we feel it, even if we don't have the right word for it. We feel it as low motivation, a foggy mind, a stiff back, short breathing, unexplained sadness, waking up tired, indifference toward things that once inspired us. We say, "I'm exhausted," but the truth is more exact. The energy isn't moving freely. So where does hanging come into the picture? When you hang, even for just 1 minute, something deeply transformative happens on 3 levels. First, the release of gravity. All day long, gravity compresses your spine. When you hang, you reverse that pressure. The discs expand, the nerves decompress, the muscles stop gripping and start letting go. It's like opening up space inside the body so energy can move again. Second, activation of the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic system. When you hang and breathe slowly, your body recognizes that it's safe. The healing mode switches on. The heart rate slows. The mind settles. Inflammation drops. This isn't mysticism. It's neurophysiology. But spiritual traditions add an important insight. When the body relaxes, the soul comes back online. Third, awakening of the diaphragm and pelvic floor. Life force. The energy many cultures call creative or sexual energy resides at the base of the spine. It's the root center, the point where life begins and rises upward. When you hang, without trying, you naturally activate the deep internal support system, the diaphragm and the pelvic floor. These two muscles are the gates of energetic flow. If the diaphragm is restricted, the breath stays shallow. If the pelvic floor is weak or rigid, the vital impulse doesn't rise. A gentle hanging retrains both, and when these two gates work together again, the energy rises. Not as a sudden blast or instant awakening, but as a slow fire that starts to reawaken, rekindle, and remember. At this point, it's no longer about posture or breathing alone. It's about letting life move again from the inside out. When you hang, the body says, "I don't have to carry all this weight anymore." And for that brief moment, life force remembers its original path. To understand the full reach of this practice, we need to look beyond physical anatomy and into the subtle field, where body, mind, and energy are constantly interacting. Hanging creates a suspension not only of physical weight, but also of the internal rhythm built up through years of tension, effort, and stress. When the body is suspended, the unconscious habit of holding, bracing, and resisting pauses. And in that pause, life force finds the space it needs to move again. The spine isn't just a structural column, it's a living channel that carries the flow of the nervous system and, in spiritual traditions, the pathway through which life force or kundalini rises. Constant compression. From sitting too long, shallow breathing, or emotional heaviness, restricts this movement and limits our ability to feel whole, creative, and present. When we hang, the spine lengthens and decompresses, unlocking this channel gently but powerfully. What follows is an internal reorganization. Energy that was stuck in tense zones begins to circulate toward the higher centers of the body, especially the heart and the head. This circulation can show up as tingling, warmth rising from the lower back, a deeper breath, or a sense of calm expanding through the chest. None of this is random. Physical release allows emotional energy to move too. The tension stored in the shoulders, chest, and jaw often mirrors emotions we haven't processed or expressed. That's why hanging isn't just a muscle stretch. It softens the doorway between your body and your inner world. At the same time, a deep nervous system reset begins. The body lets go of the need to support its own weight, and the breath naturally becomes fuller. The parasympathetic system steps in, and the mind, usually scattered and fast, finds rhythm and coherence again. The sensation that emerges feels like coming back to your center, as if the body is remembering a more natural state of being. Simpler, clearer, truer. In many ancient traditions, this state was the foundation for all spiritual work. You cannot expand consciousness if the body is compressed. You cannot open the heart if the breath is blocked. You cannot hear your intuition if your nervous system is stuck in defense mode. Hanging for 1 minute works like a key that unlocks inner alignment. It's not an act of force. It's an act of allowing. It's not about pushing the body, but about giving the body space to remember how to flow. In that moment of suspension, we rediscover something simple yet profound. Life force never disappeared. It was just waiting for room to move again. Bringing this practice into your life doesn't require dramatic changes or long workouts. What matters is consistency and intention. The goal isn't to treat hanging as a purely physical exercise, but to turn it into a small daily ritual of returning to yourself. Ideally, choose a place where you won't be interrupted. It could be a pull-up bar at home, a strong tree branch, or a wall-mounted support. What matters is that the space feels calm and allows for steady, conscious breathing. The first guideline is to start slow. This isn't about hanging with full effort or pushing for long durations. Begin with 20 to 30 seconds and simply let your body explore the sensation of releasing and lengthening. Then, over time, let the duration grow naturally. No pressure, no expectations. Your body will tell you when enough is enough. The second guideline is to pair the suspension with deep breathing. Inhale through your nose, letting the breath fill your abdomen. Exhale through your mouth, letting the entire body soften. Breath is the bridge between physical release and emotional release. When you breathe consciously, the practice doesn't just stretch the body. It expands your awareness. The third guideline is to bring your full attention to the moment. Before hanging, close your eyes for a moment and sense your body from the inside. Notice how you feel without judging it. After hanging, pause for a few seconds and observe what shifted. Sometimes it's subtle, sometimes it's deep. But there is always a change, a tension softening, an emotion loosening, a thought quieting. And remember, this practice builds over time, day after day, minute after minute. You're rebuilding your relationship with your own energy. You're not chasing quick fixes. You're reclaiming a presence that everyday life often pulls away. As time goes on, you'll notice your posture improving, your breathing becoming fuller, and your mind becoming clearer. But more importantly, you'll start to move through your life with a deeper sense of internal support. As if something within you had awakened and was walking with you again. Hanging for 1 minute is, at its core, a way of remembering yourself. As we reach the end of this journey, it's important to see that this simple act of hanging is not just a physical technique or a trend. What's really happening is a reconnection between your body and your life force, between your physical structure and your inner ability to feel alive. For most of our modern lives, we've lived inside compressed bodies, hunched forward, molded by chairs, screens, and routines that pull us away from our own presence. The back, shoulders, and breath become quiet expressions of everything we hold inside. Unresolved tension, contained emotions, non-stop thoughts. When you hang, even for a minute, you meet that pattern of compression head-on and begin dismantling it from the inside out. The suspension posture gives the spine, the central axis of both physical and energetic life, the space to lengthen and return to its natural function as a channel. When the body lengthens consciously, the breath naturally drops deeper, and this matters. Deep breathing signals the parasympathetic nervous system, the system responsible for rest, recovery, and restoration. It's as if the body suddenly gets permission to stop living in survival mode. When that happens, the release isn't just muscular. The mind loosens too. Thoughts slow down, and the background tension we've gotten used to calling normal begins to fade. As energy starts moving again from the base of the spine toward the heart and the head, we regain a quality of presence that daily life rarely gives us. That presence isn't abstract. It can feel like a gentle warmth, a surprising moment of clarity, or a quiet sense of wholeness. It's not something added to you. It's what becomes visible when the noise falls away. This is why so many ancient traditions saw this type of practice as a way to return to center and restore the natural unity between body, emotion, and consciousness. So the final invitation isn't just to add this to a fitness routine. It's to see it as a daily reminder of your ability to come back to yourself. You don't need long training sessions or elaborate rituals to reconnect with your life force. You just need a brief moment of physical honesty and a willingness to let the body speak and release. Hanging for 1 minute becomes a silent declaration. I'm here, in this moment, inhabiting my body, breathing my life, letting energy move again. If you practice consistently, you'll see that it's not only your back or posture that changes. It's the way you carry yourself emotionally in the world. Every day offers this chance. 1 minute to come back to yourself. 1 minute to remember that vitality doesn't come from outside. It comes from how you inhabit your own body. 1 minute to awaken what was never truly lost. Your inner strength,